Alright, so it seems like we finally got Steam page for the 7 Deadly Sins Origin, and it's available to be wishlisted. So let's go over some specs. Also, here's new DN animation, and give it just a second, it will appear again. Right here. Yeah, it looks really nice. Anyways, so system requirements. The processor will be Intel i5 2500K or AMD FX 8350. That's not bad at all. And the graphics card will be GeForce GTX 1060, 6GB with 30GB of storage and 60 gigs of RAM. Now, this is pretty standard, and if we look at something like Wuthering Waves, so here's Wuthering Waves, it's not that far away, maybe, yeah, it's in about the same territory. Even the graphics card is literally the same, right? Of course, it's a lot bigger game as of now because it's already at the second version, if I remember correctly, and it takes also 60 gigabytes of RAM. But the important thing that people are talking about, right, is the recommended specs. So here's the 32 gigabytes of RAM it requires. Now, that's understandable, and I will show you a video why. It's because the game actually does a seamless teleportation. So when you, for example, teleport in Wuthering Waves, it gives what's called loading screen, and it takes some time. But when you teleport in this game, it's almost instant. And I'll show you a video of this. Also, the graphic requirements are pretty good. RTX 2070, 5700 XT, those are like, this is like, I don't know, maybe $200 and $150 graphics card that is good. The processors, you can see those. Those are pretty good specs. And honestly, it's pretty similar to what Wuthering Waves has, but the memory requirement is obviously higher. Graphics remain pretty similar. Yeah, 5700 XT, 5700. Yeah, pretty similar. So the RAM is the issue with most people, but don't worry about it. 16 gigs will be absolutely enough, and especially if you're playing on lower resolutions like 720p, 1080p. This is probably requirements for 1080p. This is probably 1080p low settings. This is 1080p max. This. So yeah, this is not all that bad. And probably if you have like $300-400 build with something like RX 5070, you can probably easily run this game. Even if you have like a laptop, 16 gigabyte laptop with integrated graphics, you probably can run it. So yeah, me for example, I have integrated graphics, and it's a horrible graphics card that it has integrated. It's Radeon Vega 6. It's horrible, but it can run Wuthering Waves at 720p, no problem. At like 40 FPS at the lowest settings, so it's not a problem. So it can probably run this game too, with some difficulty, but it's an Unreal Engine 5 game, so you can make some adjustments. Now for mobile specs. There are not any mobile specs, but I'll show you specs for the games that are made on Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5. So this is for Infinite Nikki. The minimum requirements are 8 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 888 at Dimensity 8100 max, You can probably get away with lower specs, maybe Dimensity 700 series of Snapdragon. You can get away with it. Now RAM is important. You probably really need 8 gigs of RAM. Now some modern phones can actually extend their RAM, so if you have 8 you can probably get like 12 or 16 by using the storage as RAM, so it won't be much of an issue. Now Fortnite requires 4 gigs of RAM, Fortnite Mobile, and it needs a GPU Adreno 530, which is, from what I remember, it belongs to Snapdragon 820, 810, so it's basically the same specs. So like these processors or whatever these are called, these are pretty much in the same spot. So probably I think if you're on the lower end, something like Poco M6 Pro with this Antutu score can probably run the game at very low settings, and you'll probably need something like Redmi Note 30 Pro Plus to run it on higher settings. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. I'll show some gameplay for Wuthering Waves on something like Poco X6 Pro maybe, and you'll realize you can get away with like $250, $350 phones for this game. It probably won't need much higher specs than what Wuthering Wave requires.